meteorologists are at a loss to explain what is causing this weather.
Are you getting this on camera?
What you see is happening now.
So much damage.
JJ was battered by the largest hailstorm on record.
Weather experts yesterday slamming the
Here in New Delhi, it's snowing. That's a tornado! Yes, a twister!
This is just massive.
So you're hearing a trailer from the movie The Day After Tomorrow from a couple of years ago after Al Gore had fomented the greatest hysteria of our time as a climate gonif, a climate crook, a climate gangster, the head of the climate gang that I've never seen anything like this in my life. I knew as a trained scientist that the information was not complete. I knew as a trained scientist that when they were saying the science is complete and everyone agrees that they were lying because it's never true in science to begin with. There's virtually nothing in science where there's 100% agreement. And so when I started to hear from Al Gorleone, the head of the Gorleone crime syndicate, in my opinion, that all climate scientists agree that the science is in and anyone who disagrees is the equivalent of a Holocaust denier, I knew that there was something wrong with this picture. I knew it as a trained scientist, and I started in June of '06 to do some research, and I found some very reputable climate scientists, real climate scientists, unlike Al Gorleone, the head of the Gorleone crime family, and the fake climatologists who were in it for the money, who were saying the opposite, that we were entering a period of global cooling. I knew also basic science proved that increased carbon dioxide levels, in fact, increase the food supply on the Earth, not decrease it. So the more carbon dioxide actually is better, not worse. And then if we went into the opposite phase, which is what we might be going into, which is global cooling, there'd be mass starvation on the Earth. In other words, everything that these crazy people have been promoting with global warming, which they then changed to, they changed it from global warming to what? What they call it, Beowulf? They went from global warming to what? Climate change? Because they knew that they were being found out. Well, now the lid's been blown off. A hacker went into the emails of the hysterics who've been promoting the global warming and found out that they were making up the data, fudging the data, pushing people out who disagreed with them, throwing disagreeing scientists off scientific boards. And I want to reiterate, in June of '06, long before the hemorrhoid had a piece of chalk in his hand, long before any of those wrapping themselves in the Elmer Gantry flag of geniuses on the conservative side, you name it. June of '06, I was trying to sound the alarm bells, telling you the alarmists on global warming were liars. Now, here we are at a point where we have a faker as president, a complete and total charlatan in the White House, who bows and scrapes before dictators around the world, and now has the audacity, in addition to running America like a banana republic, which I called a bandana republic for obvious reasons, because they had the nerve to push this health care bill down our throats on a Saturday night while you were sleeping. That's something that was done in a banana republic, and I called it a bandana republic because it reminded me of gangsters, not legitimate politicians. This same charlatan president is going to go to Copenhagen next month and sign away the life of America unless he is told in no uncertain terms to stop. And I'm telling you that this came just in time by a God save. And I also told you that only God could save America. Once I saw who Obama was, I said, oh, it's in God's hands because the people don't have any power anymore. I said, only God could save this country. And I am telling you as I stand here, this is God's work, that a hacker broke into the emails of these climate hysterics. And the American people don't know about it yet because ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, and the others won't publish it. The Wash Post, the New York Times, the LA Times, and the other failed newspapers will not publish it. And so therefore, conservative talk radio and the internet continues to be the greatest engines of truth in America, which is why we are thriving while they are dying. What we may be going through now is another rapid change, and now we're going to a hot phase, and we could see real hot temperatures that are going to change the face of humanity. I don't doubt that we will. But for God's sakes, can we stop being primitives about it? Gore is sort of a priest of a gospel of lies, that we did it. This is part of the narcissism of the liberal, who thinks that he does everything. It's like a baby who makes doo-doo in his diaper and says doo-doo. Al Gore is saying, in essence, we made the doo-doo and we're suffering as a result of it. Only we could do it. He doesn't understand that we have almost nothing to do with the change, the climactic change that we're going through right now. It's again a form of egomania that the liberal, of course, relates to, because they live in a world of narcissism and egomania, where only they can affect things. Not God, certainly, and not nature. They're better and they're more supreme. Do you understand the psychopathology of the liberal and why I said liberalism is a mental disorder? It's even affecting their view of climate change. Now, I am giving you a lesson that you could get nowhere else. I don't believe that what I'm doing for you in the last 5 minutes could be done at any university in America today, not only because it wouldn't be done, but it couldn't be done. I'm giving you a nugget on global warming in this segment that you have found nowhere else. You won't find it anywhere else. It's worth everything on earth. It's going to enlighten you and give you a power and a strength that you don't you understand that knowledge is power? But we're living through a kind of mass hysteria in the United States of America and in the West in general. A mass hysteria that we're evil, that we're no good. They won't blame the Islamo-fascists for what they're doing. It's our fault. They won't accept the fact that it may not be our fault, that we're going through a hot spell or a warm spell. Again, it's our fault. The evils of the West. Don't you see how it all ties into the mass hysteria of the illiberal left? Don't you see that this is an emotional reaction that ties into the psychopathology of the liberal or the leftist?